today we're doing a throwback, so we're gonna hop in the time machine. I think.
Yeah.
It's not primed up.
Thursday.
I don't know why, but we're gonna get into it and see what's going on.
It's 2-stroke. You gotta warm it up, kickstart it.
Move your body, go. Move your body. Yeah, man.
The Natural Habitat Podcast. Natural Habitat Podcast. The Natural Habitat Podcast.
Yeah, that was a new theme song, jazzing it up.
Trying to foley it up over here.
Yeah, you had the little clam hands.
Kinda. Yeah, I had brought to you by Dr. J's Rolling Trays.
Yeah,
that was my new Rolling Tray snare fucking rolling kit.
And I was playing the mouth trumpet, of course. Mikey Booyah on the mouth trumpet all day.
Yeah.
If you guys need any mouth trumpet work, that's not okay. Look, that's not a blowjob. I know it sounds like it, but if you need any mouth trumpet work,
oh man,
you hit me up.
Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Welcome to the Natural Habitat Podcast. As I just stated, my name is Mikey Booyah.
My name is Billery.
Billery?
Yeah.
Is that is that Chelsea Clinton's nickname?
No.
Because she's a mixture of Bill
It's
and
a brand new one.
Hillary.
Shout out to the White House. It's a new one.
Shout out to the White House, who is oh my God. Have you been following this thing that happened the other day?
Never heard of it. You
know what? That's what you say in show life, but in real life I know you're angry. And you're going to keep it under wraps, I think, which is cool. So this whole thing happened with the primaries recently, and it got us thinking about, about people, the general intelligence of, the American population, and the world for that matter, just people. And we decided that we would, since it's Thursday, go back in time to a place or a time when people were simpler, not as educated, not as advanced as we are in 2016. And then we realized that we didn't have to go anywhere because
we were already there.
It already happened. We tried to, look up the best time that we could go when people had the lowest IQs and knew the least about the world around them.
We put the coordinates into the time machine. And we thought we went somewhere.
It gave us today.
It took us back fucking 2 days or some shit.
Yeah. So now it's Tuesday. I know you're hearing this on Thursday. And we're supposed to be recording this on Wednesday. It's all fucked up now. But we're really in the same week. So what bothers me is that these people are going to be... These people are going to be like, everybody in the world around us. When I get old and when I'm dying, these are going to be the people that are running the world, that are part of society, the everyday man and woman. And it seems like a great deal of these people are fucking retarded.
Yeah, I mean, retarded. The scenario is... In my mind, I'm looking at the results of what's happening around me, and I'm feeling ashamed and embarrassed, and I don't know why. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with me. Why am I feeling this way because of these outcomes? And I'm like, wait a minute, it's not me. You know what I mean? It's not me. It's not. It's majority of people, you know what I mean? And I don't feel like it's on anybody's fault or purpose, I feel like it's by design.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The reason why people, let's say let's not say people are dumb or retarded. Okay, that's derogatory. Let's try to shy away from that and say that they're misinformed. You know what I mean? Let's say that the average person, okay, everybody's excuse is going to be, there is no excuse. Everybody has access to the internet. And they're absolutely right. You know? So, everybody who has access to the internet doesn't mean they're going to use it in a smart way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I have, the general public has access to libraries, but the vast majority doesn't use them. You know what I mean? When they have a problem, they just say whatever comes to their fucking head and just say whatever, you know, and they're just full of these opinions. Everybody's so opinionated and has all these things without being educated on whatever it is they're so opinionated about. And I'm guilty. You're guilty. Everybody's guilty of this. You know what I mean? And that's where the moral quandary and dilemma comes in. You know, I'm like, okay, well, what do I, like I said before, what do I gain by like trying to fucking express something to somebody else like it's more of a truth than what they know? Mine just happens to be brought up with like whatever statistical knowledge that I was able to find or whatever. You know what I mean? What is theirs based on? You know, and I'm trying to put like my perspective in the hands of others. I'm trying to see like, you know, how is somebody else going about this? You know what I mean? Like when, and the evidence shows right here is like this. When you go on fucking Facebook and you see people posting stories of like bullshit links or whatever without fact checking them or without doing anything, you see people just posting random bullshit, random whatever. You feel like, wow, these people have Google. How come they don't use it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? What's the explanation for it? And there is none. It's because people just fucking blurt shit out. People are people. People are not perfect. People are imperfect. People are fucking only human. And that works as an excuse also. You know what I mean? And that shouldn't be the only excuse. You know what I mean? That should be a excuse. That should be part of an excuse why. Yeah, of course things aren't perfect because we're human. You're absolutely right. But that can't be the only reason why things aren't perfect, you know? And it's because of, you know, people don't get their information in the distance between where we are and where we should be is fucking staggering. You know what I mean? It's like people are being fooled left and right. Covers are being pulled over your faces.
Yeah.
And mine, and we're letting it happen because we're not informing ourselves, you know, like we're only as smart or as strong as our knowledge goes, you know what I mean? And if we don't know something about something, how could we ever fucking expect to get it done, you know what I mean? And the same thing happens with like an election season, you know, people are the general population thinks that they're electing something without doing any information or fact checking or, you know what I mean? If you go around and pit policies against each other and ask people like, you know, what's your opinion on this policy? What's your opinion on this policy? Where did you hear this fact from? Where did you hear that fact from? You know what I mean? And the stats are going to be like everywhere up and down, you know, a lot of people will be informed and then a lot of people won't.
Yeah.
And the people who won't genuinely tend to get their fucking sources from the same source. And it tends to be like, regional, you know what I mean? Like if you live a certain place, you get your news from a certain place. So, if you're of a certain color, you get your news from a certain place.
So what you're saying is that people aren't necessarily they're not necessarily misinformed. They're just informed from a certain source and they don't find the news themselves. So they are misinformed, but it's not like they're lacking the information. They're trying to be informed about it. It's just they go to this one source for their news, which is wrong.
Right.
So,
and I
so,
think
so people have the best intentions. They're trying to understand and trying to learn what's happening, but they don't know where to go for the truth.
Okay, yes, and that's a huge part of it, right?
Yeah.
But that's only one part of the spectrum, and then another part is that we allow places like these news outlets, these big news organizations to feed us full of bullshit all the time. We allow these places to report less than news, and we allow them to report less than truths also. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like we have so many points of interest that that it's ridiculous. So many news anchors that have gone on and told stories, fabricated complete lies about things. These people are in a public position, and they don't hold it as such. They don't have the same responsibilities as somebody who's in that position should have. And the same thing goes with congressmen and officials in government and representatives of things, like especially even in the voting process. We have representatives that vote for us. Why can't we just vote?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's part of the problem, is that the general public has always felt that they need somebody to lead them, or that they need somebody to do things in their name or for them or whatever, because they're ill-equipped or whatever. But there's really no excuse for that. We could all have the information at our fingertips. We could all be equipped. We could all be, you know what I mean? We could all be informed if we chose to do so. But we have to be able to spot the information and the disinformation. Exactly. And then, like, if you look at the public opinion nowadays, people are still getting their news from outdated sources. People are getting their news from places that shouldn't even exist anymore. People don't even watch TV anymore. How are they still watching the news on TV and thinking that that's a valid way to get your news? All that is a corporate business running its agenda, shoving shit down your throat every day of the week because they're paying their bills. You know what I mean? They're paying for whoever's sponsoring them and everything.
They're trying to get as many people as they can to look at it so that they can get the revenue from the advertisers. And, that's the same thing you have to face with the internet because of clickbait sites and shit like that. And
and they're falsifying their stats.
Yeah, we did some research before we started this and found out that the younger people get, once you get into Generation X and, the millennials, they, more and more people are getting their news from Facebook and from their mobile devices, and less people are getting their news from TV. So they're losing the power over the market, and it's becoming this free-range information thing. And then it boils down to, if you're getting your news from Facebook, it really just matters what you follow and who your friends are. And, it's up to you to get your news. You don't just get the truth, on your Facebook feed for everyone to read. It's up to you to find out what's real, what's bullshit, and sift through all the crap. And, people don't, some people, it's a mixture of they don't care. They don't have the time for it. They don't think. They don't think that it applies to them. They're trying to do their own thing. And if you get deep enough into this, I'm the center of the universe, thinking and mentality, then it doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what country you live in. It just matters your life, your house, your car. That shit matters. And everything else is whatever. You know what I mean? So I think that people just need to be more aware, and that's what we're trying to spread here is, awareness. And I think that
it's like this. If you wouldn't watch Fox News on TV, why would you watch it on Facebook?
Yeah, why would you follow
Fox? If you don't follow CNN on TV, why would you follow it or believe it on the internet?
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing. There's no difference. Mm-hmm. People are hungry for information, and they're trying to find new outlets. But you see, the mainstream media doesn't provide you with those outlets. You have to go find them for yourself. And so it makes it harder for you to go find these things. Millennials trust new age information. Millennials go to different places. Millennials go to live stream things from YouTube and places like this. Millennials watch fucking The Young Turks and Russian Today and other publications that are not running corporate agendas or like whatever. Like, this isn't the Huffington Post or the New York Times or fucking, places that have been part of the establishment and everything else, things that have been part of corporate media forever and ever. You know, these are new independent media companies that have taken over the world. You know, if you look at viewership ratings that compared the two, there is no comparison. And this is where everything is going to. This is the future. The trend is here, and the numbers can back it up. If you Google it yourself and go look at where the majority of people get their information or get their news from, and you see the ages, you see it's only old people that watch the news on TV.
Yeah.
It's exclusively old people that watch the news on TV and especially Fox News and places like CNN and things like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like who are you going to trust? Are you going to trust people that are only aiming and pandering towards old people that don't hold the same views and values as you? Or are you going to trust somebody who's like looking out for the same things that align with your values? You know, it just depends on what, and I'm sure it's the same on both sides. I don't know of any progressive Republican sites, but I'm sure they probably watch the Young Turks, and I'm sure they probably watch RT News and shit like that too. You know, I couldn't tell you. But I know that I'm sure there's some type of equivalent out there, you know what I mean, for them too. And that's really what it's all about. It's just about, you know, if you believe everything that the corporate media tells you, then you basically have no opinion. It's like the same thing I said about music, you know what I mean? Like, if your favorite musicians, if the only people you like are the people you see on the Billboard or in the top 10, you don't even like them, really. That's just what corporate America is telling you to like.
Yeah, you're just told you like it. If
Taylor Swift and fucking Calvin Harris are your favorite artists, you don't have a favorite artist.
Yeah.
The government has a favorite artist for you.
It's because you listen to the radio and you hear the same 7 songs over and over again, so they get stuck in your head.
You just fall in line, you know what I mean? And that's like, that's okay too. If that's what you like, you know, that's okay too. It's all personal preference, but I mean, like, we're never going to get to where we need to be until all of our personal preferences start to line up. Until everybody starts to, you know, want more of the same things, we're never going to get them. Yeah. Until everybody wants the same set of rules for everybody, we're never going to get them. Until people continue to divide, to conquer, we're never going to get to where we want to go. Until there's done with Republicans and Democrats, until there's no longer a 2-party system, and until there's everything is different than the way we're doing it now, we're never going to change. You know what I mean? You guys don't understand the importance of how your decisions affect you forever. It's like people that don't vote, we don't understand why they feel like it's okay to not vote. And it's maybe because they're misinformed, maybe because they think that their vote is insignificant, maybe it's because they feel like, you know, and on the wider spectrum, it's like a lesser of two evils or whatever. They don't want to just pick one because they have to, or fucking blah blah blah. But you know what I mean? It's like people feel these things all these ways for no reason. I think most of it is because they just don't know how. I think most of it is a lack of knowledge, or like a lack of intent, or like a lack of will amongst their community to get them involved, and people like them are just missed out on the whole process now because nobody fucking acted at the time they needed to act in their life or whatever to make it important to them, you know, because these type of things are a big deal. Something's happening right now. You know, something big is happening right now. Our future is in our hands right now. Yeah. We're gonna let Martha Stewart run our fucking future from prison, or we're gonna let Donald Trump turn America into hotel ownerships, or you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of dilemma that we're fucking letting happen to our country right in front of us because we choose to be uninformed.
Yeah, and people think the
easiness of it. It's easy.
Yeah, people think it's a movie.
Yeah, it's easy to not vote. It's easy to not care. It's easy to not participate. But I got news for you. You're cowards, or you know what I mean? Or, you know, being lazy is not taking the easy road or the high road, or however you want to take it. It's the chicken shit way. Not knowing how to do something shouldn't stop you from doing it. You know what I mean? And that's just plain and simple. And so, like, that's where, like, I look at it, right? Now everybody else is looking at it from a different point of view. Everybody's looking through a different perspective at my take on it right now, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's easy for you to say." Da 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 da. Whatever, Okay, well, prove me wrong. Show me something different. Let's see. I want to know, where do you get your news from? Tell us. Let's see. I want to compare. I want to know. What do you know about their policies? If you're a Donald Trump fan, what do you know about his policies?
Yeah.
And it's a joke even thinking about it. It's a joke to me even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because honestly,
everyone that I've heard that's a vocal, everyone that I've heard that's a vocal Donald Trump supporter, they'll say, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. And I say, why? And they immediately say some stupid, insignificant shit. Like,
same for Hillary, though. You know what I mean?
They just recite some. I haven't met a single person that was going to vote for Hillary.
I've never known a person ever who would vote for her, but somehow she got the votes in California. Come on, man.
Bullshit.
Look at. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not trying to judge anything. I'm just saying, like, it's obvious it's not real, the only reason they get away with stuff like this, and they get away with, like, putting whoever they want in office is because of people like that. Yeah, people that choose to not participate.
Yeah.
Every single voice matters. There's 300 million Americans, 350 million Americans, something like that. If 350 million Americans voted, there would be no other voice.
Yeah.
Everybody would get what they want because the people said so. You know what I mean? We are the ones in charge.
But instead, it's left up to 4,000 fucking important people.
Because we let them.
Yeah, because we leave it up to them to decide. And nobody even knows what a delegate or a superdelegate is. The average person doesn't know that shit because, as you're going to find out soon after we get high, the average person doesn't know anything. Know anything. And it's like common sense stuff. I went to like an actual high school until my freshman year. And then I went to community school where they had us do packets over and over again, and they had us do the same packet. Like, our teacher was like, you could just keep doing the same packet. Here's 15 of them, fill them all out, and I'll give you credits for them all. And that's how I fucking floated through. And then I got my GED when I was like 16, and I was done with it. So I didn't do a full education and, college or any of that. And I somehow know more than a lot of these people. But before we get into that, I think that we need to get high and relax because we're both getting too heated.
Yeah, we definitely are going to do that. We're definitely going to do that. And we're not bagging on anybody, so don't get your feelings hurt. Because obviously you express the same feelings as us if you like the show. So
yeah, otherwise
we're just trying to voice these opinions that you're all thinking. That, you know what I mean? And we want to get the discussion started. And this was the easiest way, without making it about one candidate, without making it about one policy, without making it, we're making it about the general public.
Yeah.
Where do we all stand?
And it's about information, and it's about creating your own opinion from the information. You know what I mean? Learning this shit, finding out. It's like, do the math. It took us, 3 minutes to fucking do the math about delegates? And finding out how many, and it doesn't fucking add up, dude. It's too many people. You know what I mean? Too many people have cast votes already. And it's like, do it yourself and become informed and then make a decision from that instead of, don't take it from what we say. Don't go, oh, I was listening to this podcast and they fucking were talking about delegates and how there's fucking this and that. Don't just recite what we say. You know what I mean? Look it up yourself. Don't let us make your decision for you. That's not what we're trying to do at all. We're not picking a side. We're kind of just,
Sides have been picked. We're just trying to understand why.
Yeah. So I think that it'll be easier for us to understand high. So
right after we see Bart Smokey.
You see Bart Smokey?
You see Bart Smokey?
Bart Smokey.
He's Smokey.
And the fucking producer was just scared. He was just sitting there like, I can't say anything. I can't say nothing to him. All right. Everybody, feel free to smoke along with us. Flick your bics, snap your pics, hashtag a managed Pete Smoke Sesh. We'll all got how to get them.
My name is Blueprint. Welcome to my life. The turntables we have. RJD Chill, supplying the sounds. Glad you came. Just think, what if you could just blink yourself away? Just think, what if you could just blink yourself away? Just blink and the night turns to day. Just blink and the pain fades away. Just think, what if you could just blink yourself away? The perennial paradox is life living in a box. Physical limited, but the clock tick is infinite. Consistently heard, so I'm imagining dawn without the choir like collages built by birds. Started studying rainbows for bringing old days when my vision blurs. When it occurs, I'll be broke as all get up. Envisioning furs and other fly fashion crafted without the loss of a single life. See, I'm so fully thinking this despite being caged, overworked, underpaid. 20K student loan with no government aid. Face to face with life, wanting to run away. This insurmountable debt that looms.
Holy shit. I want to,
What was that song called?
that song
Yeah.
was called, Just Think. It was called Just Think, which I think is the motto. And obviously, since you saw the title of this episode, Just Think. And that was by RJD2 and Blueprint, Soul Position.
Show me all the blueprints. 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 I want to get this done right, so show me all the blueprints. 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 Show me all the blueprints.
So shout out to Blueprint for that.
Show me all the blueprints.
Yeah, it was a dope track, man. And, just think. It's easy.
It's easy to do.
It's easy to do. But for some people, it's tough.
It's not. It's like, that's why they say, like, common sense is the most uncommon thing.
Yeah. And I think
So
that,
why would it be called common sense? I don't understand. It
I
should be
think-
called uncommon sense.
I think that a mixture of this is also people are on the spot because there's a guy with a microphone and a camera and they don't want to sound dumb. So they sound extra dumb.
You're absolutely right. There is a lot of pressure that comes along with it. And always, like, speaking publicly or, like, in front of a camera or whatever, yeah, that's going to add to it. But
then there's people that are
Still.
very confident about their wrong answer.
yeah.
Like they know it's the truth. Like,
it is. It's their truth.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's like I've been preaching the last few weeks or months or whatever about, like, the identity thing. You know what I mean? Like, it becomes your identity. These things, these bits of information become pieces of your identity now instead of just whatever they are. You can't let them be themselves. People don't know how to separate the two. And that's what the problem is with everybody. It's like, oh, here we are. It's me versus you now because I fucking agree with this ideal, this thing. It's not even fucking part of me. It's not even,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's a belief. It's a nothing.
Mhm.
But it becomes attached to you somehow and you're willing to fight and die for that shit. It's stupid.
it's weird.
Why do you have to be one or the other anyways?
Yeah.
Most people are not. Most people are not one or the other. But they choose that way anyways because they identify with it. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's weird. I am independent. See that laugh track?
Show me the blueprints.
Show me the blueprints. Show me the blueprints. All right, we
Hey,
have.
and I live by that. Show me the fucking blueprints. Let me see that shit.
Yep, show me the blueprints. Picture it didn't happen.
Yeah.
We have this first video. This is from an old episode of the Jay Leno show, and he actually shares our views on this. And he went out on the street and asked some people some questions, and here's the results that he got.
This is frightening.
Hi, what's your name?
Shelby.
Shelby, what do you do?
I go to school at Michigan State University.
And what is your major?
Supply chain management.
Very computer savvy?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're trying to find out. People are more computer savvy or real world savvy. What once divided East Berlin and West Berlin?
The Great Wall of China.
The Great Wall of China. Good. Where can you write on your friend's wall?
Facebook.
Facebook. Okay. Hi, what's your name?
Taylor Burrow.
Taylor. Okay. And you're a college student?
Yes, at Howard University.
Oh, very good. What does NATO stand for?
NATO stands for New Automobile Dealership Occasion. No.
Okay. We didn't know what that stood for either. I'll give her that. When we first saw this, I'll admit that we were like,
we knew what it
I'm not
was.
sure. Yeah, we knew
didn't know the exact.
We knew what it was. We didn't know the exact acronym, and it's like we almost got it. We were kind of along the same lines. It wasn't New Automobile Dealership Organization or whatever the fuck. Dealership? There's no D in there. Maybe she thought that he said NATO instead of NATO.
What is ROFLALMAO stand for?
Rolling on the floor, laughing my ass off.
In Greek mythology, what is a Trojan horse?
It's a horse that Trojans rode into battle.
Yeah. There were a bunch of them, or they just had one horse?
There were a bunch of them.
There's a ton of these Trojan horses.
I assume there was more than one.
Come galloping across. All right. Okay. And what happened? Any idea?
They fought wars on them. They gave them an advantage over the enemy.
And what was the advantage of the Trojan horse?
It was faster than all the other horses.
Yeah. And it was made out of wood.
That's true.
Yeah. On the internet, what is a Trojan horse?
It's virus.
Virus, right. Where is the Amazon located?
Somewhere near Africa.
No. What is Amazon.com?
You can buy everything at Amazon.
Everything.
Everything.
Maybe a geography book.
Sure.
Hi, what's your name?
Jeremiah Watson.
What once divided East Germany and West Germany?
See?
The sea. And then the water evaporated.
Holy shit.
United?
Okay. Where can you write on your friend's wall?
Oh, Facebook.
Hi, what's your name?
Donald?
What is a pediatrician?
That's to do with the feet.
Feet. That's a foot doctor. Okay. What is Wikipedia?
It's an online source for everything. It's like an encyclopedia.
So if you looked up pediatrician on Wikipedia, you would get...
The answer would be a foot doctor.
Foot doctor. What does WW2 stand for?
What would you two do?
What would you two do?
Holy fucking shit. Oh my god, are you serious?
Oh my god.
Okay, hold on. I gotta play. This is my favorite. This will make me happier. This is my favorite video ever. It's Miss Teen USA 2007. Miss South Carolina answers a question. A pretty simple question. And her answer is beautiful and probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Run it.
And, just think about yourself. When you open your mouth, if you sound anything like this, you need to really spend some introspective time. Do some mushrooms.
Turn around and walk out of the room.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map. Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future for our children.
Thank you very much, South Carolina.
I love it. What?
No words, right?
What the fuck? Yeah.
Oh,
you can't say anything. It's just like...
Do they just talk just to keep talking?
Yeah, it was
feels
just
like the answer should be longer. I feel like this answer should be longer, so I'm just going to throw a couple more of these out there. Maybe one of them. And then
You know what I'll do? You know what I'll do is I'll say the Iraq one more time. It's like, why did she keep going? Why was she like, this is horrible and this is not going good? And Mario Lopez is looking at me like I'm a fool. Why would she keep on going?
And we let these people vote.
Because she was trying to make a point, and she never made it.
I bet you she has a driver's license.
Yeah, absolutely.
How scary is that? Mm-hmm. You know what I think? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't... I don't understand. You know, like there should be like an IQ test when you turn 18. You know what I mean? Or like 21 or whatever. And then if you're not smart enough, you can't drink, you can't drive, you basically can't do shit because you're not smart enough. You're like ineligible to vote because you're not going to make an informed decision. You know what I'm saying? Like there should be like a fucking, if you really want to think about it, if you wanted to limit shit fairly, yeah, I feel like IQ would be the only fair way to go. You know what I mean? And not a lot of motherfuckers are going to be on that list.
Yep, and just basic shit. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you have to be a genius or know all of this stuff. Just really, really basic shit. Like there's actually a lot of videos of people in London and the United Kingdom making fun of Americans and how stupid we are. So just think of that. Think about how other countries are laughing at us. And
where?
There's everywhere. And you know, like here's a video from some guy at some news station. He's like a news anchor at a desk, and he's like, we interviewed people in America to see how much they knew about the world around them.
Name a country that begins with U.
Yugoslavia? Name a country that begins in U.
A country that starts with a U.
Utopia.
Who's in the coalition of the willing?
No freaking idea.
Afghanistan, Kuwait,
Iraq, Pakistan, you know?
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
What's the religion of Israel?
Israeli. Muslim.
Islamic.
Catholic, probably.
What religion are Buddhist monks?
Buddhist monks.
Buddhist monk.
Islamic, I don't know.
Who won the Vietnam War?
We did.
And who was...
Wait, were we even in the Vietnam War? Okay, good.
Who is Fidel Castro?
A singer.
How many sides does a triangle have?
Damn, 4.
There's no sides. 1.
What is the currency used in the United Kingdom?
That's the easiest one.
There's no sides.
Ain't no sides. 1 side? 5 sides?
Ain't no sides.
A triangle has 3 fucking sides.
Ain't nobody got sides for that.
It's a triangle. But people think that it's like a trick question, and they're like, and then they're like trying to count like the face of it and then like the back that you can't see and all kinds of like tricky geometry and shit, maybe.
Oh no, let's play some more.
That's all I know.
Name a country that begins with U.
A country?
Yeah. What about this one?
What?
United States of America.
And who said Americans weren't switched on?
I just love how much they embrace the world around them.
And every world their country runs.
Fuck you.
Kofi Annan is a drink. True or false?
Coffee's a drink.
Coffee and what?
It sounds like a law firm.
Okay, who is Tony Blair?
I don't even know.
Okay. All right. Any guess?
Any guess? Skater?
Tony Blair is an actor.
Linda Blair's brother?
Which countries are in the Axis?
Linda Blair's
World War
brother?
II. Ever hear of it?
No. Who's Tony Blair?
No, never heard of World War II.
No.
Who were the 2 teams in World War II?
George Bush versus Saddam, whatever his name is. I don't know.
How many world wars have there been?
3.
Can you tell me what democracy is?
No. It's crap.
What kind of shit is that?
Name one country in Europe.
I don't know.
You don't know?
When the Founding Fathers signed the Declaration of Independence in 1776, what year did they sign the Declaration of Independence and break away from England to start America?
78. I don't know.
1978?
Yeah.
1978.
A country that starts with a U.
Utopia.
You went full retard, man.
What do you think the TPP is?
TTP?
No, what is TTP?
The DPP?
The what?
TPP.
I have no idea.
Nope. I have no idea what that is. I ain't got a clue. I have no idea.
I have no idea. The toilet paper products.
Wow.
I'm being totally honest. I just don't care right now.
Do you know what the TPP is?
Nope.
What's TPP?
Toilet paper?
They're coming up with new ways to screw the people.
What's the TPP?
Trans-Pacific Pipeline.
Trans-Pacific Partnership. I
Same
didn't know.
thing.
I didn't know what it was.
Surprise you?
No.
Do you care?
Not really.
Why don't you bother to know about the trade?
I just don't care.
Who's Fidel Castro?
A singer?
You guys here with the March Against Monsanto event?
Actually, no. We just kind of appeared here.
Do you know what it is?
No, we're not. We don't.
Do you know what Monsanto is?
Nope, not at all.
Have you heard about Monsanto?
No.
GMOs?
No.
You have any interest in it?
No.
I think they make carpet.
Monsanto.
Carpet company.
Is that what
They're just killing the planet.
Monsanto makes
No big
carpet?
deal.
Sure.
Yeah.
I believe that our education.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm a little bit mixed up over the Palestinians and the Israelis. Okay, which one is throwing the rocks?
How many sides does a triangle have?
You should run for a third term because we need you.
Are you here voting for Obama's third term?
Yes, of course.
Obama's third term!
What does the DC and Washington DC stand for?
Dominican Republic.
Washington Dominican Republic. The capital of America. What does that mean?
Washington,
Washington.
D.C., Washington, Obama.
Wow. DC stands for Obama.
See what I mean? And like, we expect, and how can we expect anything different from the results that we get? You know what I mean? Like, honestly. And it's not because they don't care, because maybe they didn't care right then. Maybe they're just fucking around because it's on camera and it's like, oh, it's no big deal. You know what I mean? But in all reality, it's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it is.
It's a really big fucking deal. You know what I mean? It's a big deal that you vote. It's a big deal that you're informed on what the fuck's happening to your country. You know what I'm saying? It is. I don't know. It is to me because, you know, we're the ones that are going to have to deal with it. We're the poor people, the lower class citizens that have to deal with the bullshit that they do to us every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, like, whatever happens, we do have some kind of say if we choose to.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
we
true.
just gotta do it. We just gotta vote. We just gotta be informed. We gotta fucking look some shit up. We gotta take some time away from like TV that we're watching and like, you know, Facebook that we're checking out people's statuses and shit.
And whatever games,
Yeah.
I guess Candy Crush isn't a thing anymore, but whatever you're playing on your phone.
Farmville,
Yeah.
fucking whatever, you know. Instagram, motherfucking Snapchat, you know. Everybody's wired in, right? Everybody's on their fucking phone all day, every day.
Yeah.
But you use Google.
Because whether you care or not, you're still a part of the whole, and people are relying on you to at least have some sort of functioning ability in the world.
Yeah, even Google's lying to us too, you know. They don't tell us everything.
No, a lot of shit's filtered.
Yeah, they lie to us too. Can't be trusted. It's shitty, right? You know, but at the same time, it's like, what do you expect? You know, do you trust every human being? No. Why would you trust every fucking news outlet that's run by human beings?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or like whatever the scenario is, people are always going to be able to be faulted because we're always going to have faults. You know, we are always going to be imperfect. There's always going to be a way to corrupt whatever it is, as long as it has to do with us. You know what I mean? Because it's just nature. It is what it is. We just gotta do our best to see past the bullshit.
Yeah.
Try to stick together. Try to keep a fucking positive outlook on things while we try to exist at the same time. But you know, our experience can be whatever we make it, and that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, my experience is what I make it, and I choose to make it the way it is, you know, and I make the best of it, and I choose to be informed, or try to be informed, because, you know, it matters to me, and I hope it does to you guys too. You know, it's super important that we don't really take it so much as a joke. I know we live in the entertainment era and time in our lives, you know, and everything is funny and everything is, you know, everything is great, but, you know, really everything isn't that great, because we still have people sleeping on the streets in our own country. We still have people going hungry at night. We're still using fucking gas in our cars.
Yeah,
We're still using.
There's still giant parts of American cities that are, you know, just forgotten about, and police don't go into, and buses don't run anymore. And
I mean,
there's people
we're still
that live
running
there.
off of nuclear energy when we're watching power plants melt down left and right. You know what I mean? And it's like ruining places for like generations and generations.
Yeah.
You know, like we still can't even live or habit places that we dropped bombs on in the 60s, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever. It's like, when are we going to learn? But when it's too late, when everybody's sick, after fucking we lose a few million people, after we lose a few 100 million people, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's it gonna, you know, what's gonna happen when fucking we lose 3 feet of shoreline and it displaces everybody because of the ice caps melting? What happens when, you know, all this shit is inevitable? We're on track to hit everything right now.
Yeah.
And it's because we're not informed enough to make a difference. We're not doing, you know, nearly enough of what we should be. That's all.
Yeah, it's just happening around us, especially Americans. And I have faith.
Yeah, all the things, the bad things that are happening because of us directly. Yeah. You know, and there's no way to see it otherwise. Look at the huge die-offs in ocean animal populations.
Yeah.
Because they're all full of plastic. You know what I mean? Like all the whales, all the fish, all the fucking mammals like the dolphins and like all the other shit. All the things that are dying in big populations are all because of their eating plastic and fucking all kinds of other shit. And you know, all these things are directly because of us. We're looking it right in the face.
Yeah.
We could be doing things about it, like hemp plastic, which is biodegradable. You know what I mean? It's like it can break down naturally and won't hurt the environment or the animals that it comes in contact with.
And I think that
we have replacements and solutions for every one of these fucking problems.
I think that I forget what I was gonna say. I had a point. I forgot it. It's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just we all gotta, like, you know how easy it is. Like if you wanted to start right now and you wanted to change your life, how would you go about it? If you wanted to start thinking green completely, or like do your part, how could you become more informed all at once? Because the status quo doesn't want you to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the country that we live in, if you look it up, like you can't even live on your own property if it doesn't have power ran to it. It's deemed unsafe or unlivable, and they take your own property away.
Yeah,
from
which
you.
is bullshit.
You can't live off of the grid. You can't even really be green. They don't want you to. The way that it's set up is they want you to keep paying into these systems and they keep doing all these things. So for you right now, as a citizen with your means, Mikey, let's say the average person is like me and you, right? Like we're just barely paying to get by. We're living check to check. We don't have extra money to invest in any of these type of things. We're just normal people stuck in the everyday man's trap, and we don't know like what to do about it. How can we do our part?
I don't know, man. It's hard. I think that what it is it's like, I think that it's a subtle shift that needs to be done with everybody. That if everybody does small things, plays their part, teaches, you know, their children, their nieces and nephews, you know, these kinds of morals and, you know, different things that we weren't taught when we were kids, that we learned when we got older. I think that the younger generation is smarter. I think that they're paying, I think that they're paying more attention and that they're absorbing things better. And I think that's why the school system is getting worse and why, they have like fucking all of this shit to where 2 + 2 = 5, but it's still the right answer if you can explain how you got to 5 and if they want people to be creative. So it's like they're not focusing on teaching people because people are becoming smarter. Plus kids are doing less drugs. Like kids aren't on meth and fucking heroin like we were when we were their age, when we were like 15, 16. So it's like, these kids are doing more psychedelic drugs. Mushrooms are making a comeback, a lot of MDMA. And, I think that once this new generation comes in power, starts taking seats in Congress and Senate and all these places, that there will be a change and that it really just everyone needs to be aware. No single person can make a change. It's like, it sucks to say that. It sucks to hear it. But unless you're going to one person can start some sort of project or start some sort of petition or start an organization and make a change. But one guy, I think, just needs to become a part of the whole that is starting to think.
I think that's a problem. That's the main problem, is the way that we look at it, right? It's like you said right there, is that no one man can change it. But we gotta reverse that thinking, because that's not accurate. It's every single man can change. You know what I mean? So it's grouping it. Instead of grouping you into a group of one, you gotta group you into a group of one humankind.
Yep. It's true. That's what people need to do, and that's really the main point of this. It's not to call anybody stupid or anything like that. It's to make people aware that we are this one thing, this one whole, and like I said, I got faith. I got faith in everybody out there. I got faith in you guys that you want to be informed and you're just not getting it from the right places. So that's really it. That's really the point of this whole thing.
That would have been my answer to the question, how can I help? It would just be to start the conversation. We got to talk about it. Yeah. Everybody's got to figure it out. You know what I mean? And the only way to start is to ask questions. The only way to start to make a change is to ask the right questions, is to figure it out. Ask the questions, gain the knowledge, figure out the answers, and then put the answers in motion. Just like anything else. I mean, like, we all want to do our part. How could we all do it on a scale that's possible right now?
Yeah, you can think for yourself.
Yeah, and help each other.
Because there's certain things that everybody knows is horrible, that everybody knows is bad, that we shouldn't be doing, and you think that you contributing to it isn't contributing to the whole, which it is. So, I think it needs to be a change of thinking, which will happen over time.
So, I mean, it's slowly happening, and right now, this election proved it. There's a higher young people turnout than there ever has before, and it's showing the new trend, and it's showing exactly where it's going. It's gonna be within the next 4 years, at the next election, the young people are gonna decide the election.
Yep.
We almost had it this one. We still almost have it this one, but by the next 4 years, for sure, the young people will be able to clinch and decide what really happens in this country. So people should not take this next 4 years as it's like a break. This is your time to figure out where you want to go next. Where can we all go together? Let's get there on the right path,
Yep. Go out there, inform yourself, and be your own person. Think for yourself.
Smoke some weed.
All right. Well, we love you guys. We'll see you on Saturday.
Peace, bitches.
Natural Habitat Recording.